Good morning, good morning. We are here, baby. We are here a few minutes running behind. Why? Well, we're not behind. Now we're just making progress, not perfection. Big show coming up. Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends, your daily dose of real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation to kick your morning routine into high gear. Fellas, this isn't just a live morning show, baby. No, it's your daily accountability partner here to help you start your day right with laughter, insights, and the kind of live morning accountability that started back in the olden days, back in Generation X. It slaps you harder than your third espresso. Here's what you got brewing in the lab this morning. In today's morning loop, we're diving into some fire. First up, men's silent struggle. Why we suffer in silence, because vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the upgrade your mindset's been waiting for. Then the 30-second routine beats the snooze button because you're better than your alarm clock. And don't miss the 4 most addictive tech habits stealing your time. Morning TikTok might be least to your problems. And right after that, we're going to lock in some accountability check-in. Take the spotlight into center stage. We got a guest hanging out there. I see him ready there. Omid's ready. Get some C. Marty Fit Tip deep dive on the single biggest lie men tell themselves before 9 a.m. Stick around for some Power Pack lifestyle tips with Jon Andersen. We're going to cap off hour 1 with some mind fuel. Some AJ Zeglin joining us here today. Hour 2 is coming up at the top of the second hour. And Ryan, guys, this is an R-rated experience. So if you got the kids nearby, toss them some headphones or send them to grandma's or just get them out of the room. Jimmy, let's rock and roll, my brother. Let's get this show on the road. Let's bring in Johnny. Jimmy, let's bring him up. How are you, pal? What's going on today, my brother from another mother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I've got a confession to make, though.
What's the confession, brother?
I hit the snooze button today.
Oh, Jimmy, we got
No. Hold on, Doug. Keep that trap shut just for a second. I hit the snooze button because when my alarm went off to finish my sitting in silence, I needed 9 more minutes.
Oh, there you go. Good morning, Jonathan Ballard.
Come on, man. Were you ever going to fucking question I hit the snooze button? What's wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
Good morning.
God damn it.
Good morning, John Clayton. Good morning, Jonathan Battles. Good morning, Laura Lucas Gordon. Good morning.
How did you fall for that dumb shit? Jesus Christ.
I love it, Anderson. I love it. Check it out. How was your Father's Day yesterday, brother? So we got a big show here today. I got a lot of fun things bringing up here. A busy weekend making content for the show. Here's what I got for Father's Day. Check this out.
What it?
I got a nice medal for my kids. Best dad ever.
That's fucking cool, brother. That's cool.
So I told the kids I'd wear it on the show here today, which is what exactly I'm doing here today, is wearing it on the show. So, yeah.
I had a hell of a Father's Day.
Tell me.
So much life expectancy work, I needed to take a damn painkiller.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Oh, that was awesome, man. I love it. I got Jimmy laughing here in the background here. So, hey, Jimmy, let's run this morning loop video, and we're going to get a rock and roll, man. I got some fun stuff happening here this morning here. So, Jimmy, let's run. It's going to look just like this. Every morning we show up to help you guys win at home, at work, and everywhere in between. If you haven't yet checked out the Mornings and Live YouTube membership, starting at $2.99, goes all up to $14.99, and best part, absolutely tariff-free. That's a true story. So what do you get? It's not about digital badges or another inbox notification. It's about being part of a crew that's invested in your growth. As a member, you get inside access to deeper conversations, free for all Fridays, and a lot of fun. What's the big benefit? Well, you're investing in yourself, Johnny. You're investing in not hitting the snooze button. You're investing in stepping into a community that's pushing for more every single day, sharper, better, and all the great things that come with joining the Mornings in the Lab community. I invite you guys to check it out over on the channel. Hit subscribe and join the biggest morning conversation on the planet. There it is, my brother from another mother, the YouTube thing at all, everything over there. So, John, a lot of life expectancy work, eh? That's good for you, brother. That's good. So
yeah, it was a good one. It was a great session, man. It's weird, but like it's like some weird shit. Like my left eye has been like tearing nonstop. It just won't stop. It's like I'm gonna have to stop and wipe it a few times in the show, probably.
My yesterday for Father's Day.
You broke up. Say again.
Did you get some nice notes from the girls yesterday for Father's Day?
Yeah, they all trickle in and give me phone calls and stuff. So I had to tell them, hey, you better get to me by noon because I'm gonna be off the radar by noon.
Yes. Is that? Yeah, I'm gonna be out there. I'm busy taking care of life expectancy work before noon. Is what Johnny's doing.
They understand that their mother and myself we have a very robust, sex life. So when I say mom and I are having fun, they know exactly what that means.
Just check this out.
In parks across China, a viral sleep hack is spreading like wildfire. People are hanging from their necks,
Jimmy, it's not.
believing it will cure insomnia. But doctors are calling it a physics experiment on your spinal cord. At least one person has already died. Your sleep matters. Your life matters more.
Johnny, you ever been so desperate for better sleep that you'd literally hang yourself?
But I mean, do we have a picture of what they're doing? I mean, literally fucking hanging themselves? Or are they doing it in a safe way? Are they standing?
Literally hanging themselves. Yeah, I purposely did not
put feet off the ground.
Yes, I purposely did not put pictures on today because it was too early for such craziness. But they're actually hanging.
The feet are not on the ground.
No, so it's like a balanced kind of hang.
Well, how do you balance when you're not on the ground?
Well, so
gravity's going to balance you there.
Well, I know, I'll grab some pictures and send them over to you later today. But it's I kind of just didn't know how to react to it because senior citizens in China are using these U-shaped belts to hang from playground equipment by their chins, swaying back and forth like human pendulums. Yeah, and the trend was started by 57-year-old Sun Rongdu to treat his cervical spinal cup to something, a condition causing headaches, dizziness, and insomnia. But here's the terrifying part. At least one person's already died from mistakenly putting the belt around his neck instead of his chin.
Well, I mean, but that's just stupidity. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, listen, I mean, it's like if you could, when you think of, okay, people are hanging them, it's time to read the instructions here, you know?
The one time we want you guys to read the instructions is when you find that you need to find somewhere to hang around and sleep. What's going on, Marty?
What's up, baby? What's going on, baby? How y'all doing, man?
Come on, man.
We're just having some fun.
How was Father's Day, man?
Oh, it was good. Awesome. I had a really wonderful day yesterday. Yeah, I
love that.
Had a nice morning with the crew, and then my crew knows how I roll, Johnny, which is leave dad alone so dad can do stuff. So it was awesome, actually. My crew left me alone so I could get some stuff done, and then we all headed over to my sister's for a wonderful dinner last night, which was really great.
Nice. Yeah, but I didn't include I woke up at 2 because I wanted an extra hour of getting my shit done before I went off the radar.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Marty, how was your day? Did you give Papa a call yesterday?
Yeah, I called him. I'm actually his birthday in August, so I'm going out there in August.
Oh, fun. Okay.
So that's why I didn't go this time. But yeah, man, called him. We chopped it up for a little bit. He was eating some of his favorite food. He was being a big back, and so
how far away does he live, brother? How far away does he live from you?
He's in Illinois, so that's like an hour and some change on a flight. About
it's a 15-hour
drive. Yeah. I'm not taking a 15-hour drive. I'm good, man.
No,
I'm taking a flight.
Yeah. That's a long drive.
I'm just taking a flight. He says, no, I'm just taking a flight, man.
Yeah, I'll take a flight, man. I don't like long drives. You know, Johnny driving all the time, though, man.
That's right.
But there's a certain limit that I'll go. You know, if it gets it, very rarely am I gonna take a trip where I've got to actually get a hotel on the way. You know, unless it's like a planned thing where Terry and I we decided we're gonna take a few day kind of just traveling out in the middle of nowhere. But if we got like a destination to go over something real quick and come back, you know, it's 2 days is too much in a car.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, guys, we got some fun stuff happening on the show here today. We've upped the production quality. We're going to move to the accountability check-in, Jimmy. There's a reason so many men scroll late, snack when they aren't hungry, and down themselves in busyness, and it starts like this.
I am capable. I am strong. I will achieve my goals. Today is a new day.
There's a reason so many men scroll late, snack when they aren't hungry, and drown themselves in busyness. It's all about avoiding what's actually bothering them. Here's the accountability check-in, you guys. That unresolved argument at home, the regret over a goal you keep pushing off, the pressure of never feeling caught up, the fear you're not living up to your own standards. Yeah. What's that emptiness that creeps in when your work gets quiet? The truth that your health is slipping and nobody else knows. Numbing is the easy option, but here's what it costs. You lose hours every week dwelling on thoughts and feelings that don't move you forward. You trade the chance to get clarity for more noise and distraction. You miss opportunities to fix what's broken. And you build what matters because avoidance turns little problems into chronic ones. And over time, you drift further from the man you get out to be. And guys, what am I putting off right now? And what will it cost if nothing changes? So the next time you catch yourself knee deep in distractions, pause and ask, what am I putting off right now? And there's your accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. And Jimmy, we're going to bring up our intro for our guest, brother. We're doing it right now, Jimmy. Bring it up. Let's do the intro to Omid.
What if your car could charge itself while you're at work, camping, or just grabbing groceries? Today's guest built a rooftop solar system that lets his Tesla sip sunshine. With engineering from UC Berkeley and business from MIT Sloan, Omid Sadeghpour turned a simple idea into groundbreaking reality. Dart Solar adds up to 75 miles of range per day, making EVs truly self-sufficient. And he's not stopping there. Welcome to the lab, Omid.
How are you, Omid? How are you today? We got Omid Sadeghpour joining us all the way this morning on Mornings in Live with Keith and friends. What's up, Omid?
What's up, guys? How are you? Thanks for having me.
How are you, pal? Yes, how are you today? Where are you joining us from today, brother?
Los Angeles, so it's 5:20 a.m. here.
Yes, it is bright and early. You got up on the Jon Andersen time zone here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Does that feel early to you, brother?
Yeah, usually here we wake up at 8 and the office starts at around 9 or so. So getting up at 4:30 is a little bit early for me, but maybe not for you guys, it seems.
Yeah, everybody's different for sure.
So, Omid, you've done some crazy stuff, man. From an engineering side of things, you developed a rooftop charging system for your Tesla.
Yeah, that's right. This started about 3 years ago as a
hold on. I got to interrupt you. So, Johnny,
Sure.
Marty, I asked the guy this big technological question, just for granted. Oh yeah, just developed some solar panel for my Tesla, just like it was nothing. It's like, yeah, I made cookies last night. Omid,
that just shows you how specialized and how advanced he is in this world.
I
it's
love
like somebody says, somebody says, "Oh, you bench 500 pounds." Oh, yeah, six times.
Good morning, Amy Ryder. I see you there in the comments. So, Omid, what prompted the design and the development of this rooftop solar array? And before you answer that, there must have been a moment before you decided on the moment. How did you arrive at that decision, brother?
Oh gosh, that's a deeply psychological question. I think at the end of COVID, I purchased my first electric vehicle. But my background is from South America. I was raised in Ecuador, and my family is Iranian. And so energy and power production has always been in family conversations. I used to work at the Department of Energy and Lawrence Livermore Labs, and the conversation of the impact of electric vehicles on the grid has always been a recurring conversation. Maybe in the US it might be an issue, but certainly in developing countries, in Scandinavian countries where the cost of electricity skyrockets during wintertime sometimes. And so I think it was just a conglomeration of all these issues that I saw. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go to the Home Depot, buy some flexible solar panels from somewhere, and let's see if I can build it over a weekend project. That it was as simple as that.
Here's what I love about this, John Marty, is that the guy went to Home Depot, bought some stuff, bought a wooden frame, telescoping carbon fiber tubes, and wasn't waiting for perfection. That's what I love about this, because Omid, too many entrepreneurs, and you're seeing it on the show here today. I got a bunch of new things happening, but it's just, there's no perfect, it's all just progress. And I find that I know Johnny and Marty, we talk often on the show, too many of us wait for the right moment. We wait for someday, one day, we're not ready yet. But you went down to Home Depot and you're like, okay, this gets me started. How did you find yourself just getting started, Omid?
I think it was just an annoyance. Every time that I would drive by cars, I would see them baking in the sun. My car was always baking in the sun. I park in the driveway. So it was this constant reminder every day, getting a notification from the app saying that your cabin is overheating. So this constant reminder was just painfully annoying. So yeah, I went to the Home Depot, got solar panels, slapped it together.
Well, and you're just sounds like, brother, you're just kind of watching this resource be wasted.
Yeah.
And solar is actually one of the cleanest forms of energy. From a emissions point of view, it has the lowest emissions. Other countries are developing their own solar strategies. The US has a solar strategy as well, but I just figured, why not build it? And the original idea was to open source the blueprints so that anybody could go off and build it themselves. It turns out it's harder to build it than what I thought. So right now, today, we build our own custom solar panels. We extrude our own aluminum. We do all these customizations, 3D print, to be able to create a product that can achieve the goals that I wanted.
Why do you, Omid, why, I got my words, I want to put it together properly for you. As you were watching the resources wasted, your car's sitting there, you're thinking, I got to solve this problem. I got to solve this problem. Have you always been a problem solver your entire life? Have you been one of those folks that are like, I see something over there, I'm going to come at it for perhaps a first principles approach? And I bring first principles approach up because you talk about Tesla, you talk about, and Elon's obviously a big first principles thinker. Are you a first principles thinker when you tackle this problem, Omid?
Wow. I would say in my family, we didn't really have a choice. You see, we moved to Ecuador, my parents did, to serve and help the Ecuadorian community when I was a child. And so every weekend I would see my parents coming up with new solutions, new ideas. So in my family, this has been a trend, solve problems. The way that I financed Start Solar is I started this other company that generates about $1.5 million per year in recurring revenue. And it focuses on helping mid-level managers achieve their goals. And so in my family, I would say my brothers, my parents, everyone has this attitude. Like, I guess it's normal for us, but I could see, for some people it might be unique. So I would say, yeah, if something is in the spirit of service and you look at the 10-year, 20-year, 50-year projection and it makes sense, then I go for it. And anyone else in my family does that as well.
Where do you see Dart Solar heading in the next 5 years, Omid? You talk about the future. You talk about the next 5, 10
question.
Yeah,
Good
where do you
question.
see it for the next 5 years, brother?
Well, you see this overwhelming trend that solar panels are decreasing in cost about 12% per year, 10% per year, and electricity costs are increasing about 10% per year. So like you do the math and you can very much see where the humanity of 2100, 2050 might be if this trend continues and fusion and other forms of energy don't come into the picture. So I see the future being one where the electric vehicle is the main power generator for a lot of people, especially in rural areas or campers, people that do overlanding. I see a world where bidirectional electric flow occurs. So for example, you charge your electric vehicle and your electric vehicle can power your home in the event of a disaster, right? So if you look at these technologies progressing and maturing, you very quickly can see where solar is going to fit, where wind's going to fit, fusion, fission, whatever it may be. And I see a future where electric vehicles are going to continue dominating the consumer market for just light duty vehicles, medium duty, heavy duty. Like if you need like your Ford 150, 250, at that point, EV doesn't really have the energy density that you need. But for low duty vehicles like sedans, you know, if you're driving 20 miles a day, the idea is for Dart Solar to not only supplement the energy that you need, but actually sort of like replace it. So you're running fully green for free, right? You're using solar to charge your electric vehicle and power your home.
Today we're hanging out with Omid Sadeghpour, all the way from California this morning, the inventive mind behind Dart Solar. I'm hanging out with John and Marty and the gang here at Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. I see you, Amy Reinhardt. I see you, Adam Holroyd. I see you, Matty Roof. I see you, Lady Drew Boger. Guys, I invite you to join the Mornings Alive hotline. It is at 431-300-3005. We'll take your texts, take your voicemails, and take your calls to bring it up here, bring you guys onto the show. Omid, so how do you bring your product to market? Is it a direct to consumer market? How do you sell your product?
Yeah, that's right. Right now we have over hundreds of pre-orders that we're submitting the materials to receive and start building production. The basic idea is people putting their orders. We're going to be in pre-order for about a year or so as we get the first factory running, and then ideally we'll have inventory and just ship directly globally. In the US, we can ship within the continental US. And if any international orders come in, then it's an extra $200 fee. And we want to set up different factories, one in the US, one in South America, one in Serbia, so that we can directly ship to any continent that people need this.
Omid, one of the common themes that myself, John, and Marty hear from entrepreneurs and business owners is the idea of all these hurdles that we have to overcome to achieve our goals. Now, I can only assume that there were mountains after mountains, if not hurdle after hurdle, as you got started and as you started to get going. Omid, what were some of the biggest hurdles that you faced in developing this expandable solar array, and how did you come around in solving them?
I guess I'll try to adapt my answers to an answer that makes sense also for your community. I imagine they're entrepreneurs and small business owners. There are engineering hurdles that maybe I will skip. The biggest hurdle that I think would relate to your audience is the increasing cost of acquisition and online advertising cost that is hitting all small businesses and entrepreneurs around the US. Right now, you're running into a situation where Meta, Alphabet, and maybe a few other companies, Microsoft, really can determine the price and the cost of acquisition of online advertising. And so that's the biggest hurdle that I would imagine your audience is feeling. One way that we get around that, especially at Dart Solar, but at the other ventures that me and my family run, is we really squeeze every penny out of marketing. So when someone comes to our website, we automatically put them on a mailing list. We automatically put them on a refer or earn, share or earn program. They don't even have to sign up. Any member, for example, that joins Dart Solar automatically gets told, hey, you'll make $200 if you help us pre-order another Dart Solar. Any way that one can squeeze the marketing dollars, it becomes just compounding interest on the growth of your venture. And one of the other challenges besides the increasing cost of acquisition is just the amount of noise that there is on the market. Like if you're an engineer or if you're a doctor, if you're whatever, and you have a certain like credibility and expertise, it's really hard to compete with people that come in and just start a channel. It's a death by 1,000 cuts when it comes to being cut by uncredible influencers. So the signal to noise ratio and the increasing cost of acquisition is two of the main problems that I try to focus on.
I see a Texas Repo. We're hanging out with Omid Sadeghpour. He is selling solar. Yes, he is. Omid, can you hang out for an extra couple minutes with us? We're going to do a fit tip with Marty. We'll come back and do some quick fire with you. Does that work for you?
Sure, happy to be.
Awesome. Let's do it, Marty. Let's do it, Jimmy. Let's do a fit tip with Marty. We'll come back for a couple minutes with Omid, and we'll wrap Omid up, give him a chance to talk about his business, and we'll wrap him up. We'll continue the show, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it, Marty.
Let's get it, man. All right, we got the fitness tip for today. And I need you all to understand. Hold on, sorry, while I center myself. I need you all to understand that there's never going to be a perfect time to get fit. All right. A lot of people try to get in the gym when life slows down. Oh, I'll go when the kids go to college, right? You're sitting here waiting for the right time. But if you don't start now, you're going to get further from your goal. You're going to get further from where you want to be. And guess what? You're not staying the same. You're getting worse or you're getting better. What does worse mean in this case? The same things we always bring up. Lower testosterone, sarcopenia, less mobility, more prone to injury. The list goes on and on, right? So it's not easy for anybody. So you go to the gym or you go on Instagram and see these people, it's not easy for any of the people that you want to be like. They had to sacrifice something and they had to start when it was inconvenient, right? So let's say times do get a little bit easier for you to work out. If you start now, it's going to be easier for you to stay on track when or if that time comes. All right. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Get your butt in the gym. Get your butt eating right. And that's the fitness tip for today.
It's the fitness tip of the day. Mornings and live with Keith and friends. See Marty Fit drops it every single day, 8:30 Eastern time. Texas repo solar is unreliable. I'm not buying. Certainly a legitimate question. We're going to ask Omid about that in a quick second. What if your car could charge itself while you're at work, camping, or just grabbing groceries? Today, guest built a rooftop solar system that lets his Tesla sit in the sunshine, and he's not just stopping there. Good morning, good time. I see you there as well. Texas, what do you say? Omid, what do you say to Texas repo who says solar is unreliable? I'm not buying.
In the short term, in the span of 1 hour or 2 hours, yeah. It's unreliable. It gets cloudy. It rains. But if you think about it, your vehicle has a 60 kilowatt hour battery. This is enough to power your home for 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, depending on your usage, right? So if you look at the span of a week, right, there will be plenty of opportunities to trickle charge your electric vehicle, and then that electric charge that you could move your car or possibly power your home if you have a power unit or a solar charger. So yeah, in the instant, right, solar is very unreliable. A cloud passes by. But in the long term, in the span of a week, it's very reliable. If you look at solar as far as growing in the US and in China and in other countries, it is the fastest growing energy source in a lot of countries. So to your audience, yes, it's unreliable, but only for a short span of period of time.
You're also a traveler, and you're also a plant-based cooking influencer, Omid.
I'm not an influencer, but I eat plant-based, yeah.
What made you switch from meat to plant?
I can tell you what it was not. It was not saving the animals like a lot of my friends. I was inviting someone to my wedding, and they told me that they couldn't come, but that they were reading this book, How Not to Die. And it basically focuses on the scientific benefits of eating plant-based. I gave it a quick read, and within 2 days, I just went cold turkey. Me and my wife changed basically overnight. And the author of that book is just an incredible gentleman. He's not doing any of this for profit, as a lot of people in the plant-based community. And we are feeling great so far. And yeah, that was the main incentive. A lot of scientific studies about the benefits of cruciferous vegetables, beans, this, that, and the other. And it's very delicious.
But you know an interesting part about that, brother? Sorry to interrupt. An interesting part about saying this is you, but so many people go through that when they make that switch. What does it eliminate? It eliminates pretty much all fast food. It eliminates all the stuff that your people are eating that's not food. And so when you go to just a whole food diet, vegetables or not, people often will have the same feeling that you're having, because the idea of sticking to one single thing or one really vein, if you will, eliminates all the food that's really not food.
That's a positive way to spin it, Johnny. And I like how you said that, because you're right. So whether you're meat or plant, it's actually not that point.
Just you pick one type of whole food and you stick to that motherfucker, you're gonna have an amazing benefit. And that's assuming you have an average American diet.
Yeah, but I like that, Johnny. Because go ahead, Marty. Go ahead, Marty, please.
I was going to say I want to chime in on that too, because plant-based, that refers to a lot of whole foods, but a lot of people will say vegan, and they eating vegan chips and cookies, and they're not even getting not even getting the benefit of the switch. So I like that. Yep.
Yes, yeah, and Texas Repo, I got a question coming back. I'm sorry, Omid, we got a question from Texas Repo here, which is a good one. It's a legitimate question, and I can help answer it as well. How do electric vehicles perform in cold weather conditions? Battery life and charging are an inconvenience. So listen, I had the first Tesla Roadster here in Manitoba. I had one of the first Tesla Roadsters in the world here in Manitoba. I've had Teslas my entire life. Omid, yes, I have a Roadster. Texas, I can absolutely talk to you about cold weather and batteries and charging. Is it an inconvenience? Perhaps a little bit, but that was 10 years ago. Today, I don't find it is.
Well, brother, so is fucking going to the gas station. There's an inconvenience no matter what fucking kind of car. There's brother. It's I make the joke, and it's just kind of funny when I say this. It's what what kind of cock do you want to suck? Because there's a cock to suck with everything.
Everything's an inconvenience. It's so true. It's absolutely true. So, but Omid, how would you respond to that comment?
He's right. So I was speaking.
Wait, who's right? Johnny's right. There's a cock to suck for everything, or Omid's right?
Both. Everyone. The cock to suck theory applies to most things in life, even as
yes, a friend, absolutely.
We're speaking about fitness, but there's a few elements to share that are important. I was speaking to the gentleman that manages about 30,000 government vehicles in New York City, and they're making the switch to electric for a lot of their light-duty vehicles. So to your friend, the audience member, yes, in the cold, the batteries for electric vehicles tend to perform a little bit worse. Yes, that's correct. But the ultimate question is really all summed up together, the decrease in the maintenance costs of an electric vehicle and the fact that power can be generated by anyone. It is a decentralized infrastructure, right? Gas, diesel, it's a centralized infrastructure. So when you talk about like disaster recovery, when you talk about the decentralization of wealth and allowing the economy to be distributed to a larger population of individuals rather than a few billionaires, so to speak, right? The decentralization of things, if you talk about crypto and Bitcoin, that also comes into the decentralization topic. So the decentralization of power generation is much higher than gas or diesel or like petrochemicals, right? So to your friend, yes, electric vehicles have a problem with the cold. I would say internal.
But can I jump in right there, though, brother, just to back you up? Plenty of gas motor vehicles have problems in the heat.
Exactly. They have problems in the heat. They emit too much heat as well.
I just was in a car that fucking overheated. It sucked.
I was going to say too, as many times I've been to the gas station in a snowstorm and the gas was frozen. It's been crazy. So you probably don't have to worry about that with an electric car. So I think I want to make the switch myself.
Texas Repo coming in with, it takes me 5 minutes to fill my tank. It takes you 45 minutes to suck a cock. Well, I don't know, man. When you get into your 50s, it might take.
It sounds like you're enjoying that too much, brother.
Well, yeah. And then Rick Clody coming in with saying there's always difficulty in everything. We must choose our difficult. Hanging out with Omid Sadeghpour from California, the CEO of Dart Solar. Omid, let's get some quick hitters, brother, with you. Morning routine, must have coffee or meditation for you?
Both. Coffee, and I repeat something 95 times per day to help with my meditation.
What is that?
Well, I mean, my family is Baha'i, and Baha'is have this law where they repeat Allah Pa, which means something to the effect of, you could say God is the most glorious or the universe is amazing. And you repeat that 95 times in your meditation process as a way to guide through your meditation. It's sort of like intermittent. No, it's in Western cultures, they call it differently, but it's a type of meditation.
Yeah. Favorite travel destination, the mountains or the beaches?
Oh boy, the beaches for sure.
Go to
Hence I'm in LA.
go-to plant-based dish.
Oh, spring summer rolls like vegetable rolls like Thai. Anything Thai food is amazing. Yeah,
Tech gadget you can't live without.
phone, laptop, that's for sure. But if you want something creative, um, I don't know. I like these VR headsets. We bought the Apple Vision. It's really incredible. But my phone for sure. It's I live and breathe through it.
Omid, early bird or night owl? When do your best ideas strike you, brother?
At night, alone by myself, just thinking profusely on a problem. Definitely at night, but I have to be alone and just hyper focused.
And Omid, in closing, brother, what's one unconventional idea that you've had that you're too excited to explore next?
Randomly enough, magic cards. I have started dabbling with making little fun magic trick tools to show around my nephews and different people. But on a higher, bigger topic, I think anything that has to do with decentralization of infrastructure, decentralization of energy production, water production, anything decentralization, I really get excited about.
Omid Sadeghpour joining us all the way from California this morning. The guy built a rooftop solar array for his Tesla. Omid, how can our community connect with you, find you, engage with you, and do some business with yourself, brother?
Well, they can go to dartsolar.com. My cell phone is on the website. They can contact me through there, dartsolar.com. From there they can iMessage me, text message, WhatsApp, whatever it is. I communicate with hundreds of people that are even just interested in solar, and I just help them and guide them in the right direction. So that would be the best way. Just go to Dart Solar, go to the contact page. My cell phone is right there.
Awesome. Omid, thanks for hanging out with us this morning, brother. I look forward to grabbing coffee with you later today.
Thanks, Keith. Enjoyed chatting with you guys as well.
Awesome.
Pleasure, brother.
Awesome.
Nice
All right,
to meet
Omid's
you,
going to
Omid.
get out of here, guys. Beautiful. And we're going to get some, we got Marty rock and rolling out of here. We got Johnny going for a lifestyle tip. And then we're going to come back and do a deep dive. We got AJ Zeglin joining us as well. Marty, what going on today, brother?
Just another day, man. Work, the usual workout.
Just another day in the neighborhood.
Just another
day in the neighborhood. Christopher Martin.
Sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, let's let Marty get out of here. Johnny, we're going to do the lifestyle tip.
Have a good day, brother. Have a good loop.
You too.
All right, Marty. All right, Johnny, we're going to do lifestyle tip with you. And then when you come back, you're going to go for a break while I kick off the deep dive. We'll come back with that and talk with AJ Zeglin. Okay, brother?
Let's go, babe.
Let's do it. All right, Jimmy, let's get Johnny up there.
All right. So check this out. We all want to get better. We all want to level up. And I think the biggest problem that people in general are not realizing is that it starts with themselves first. Literally, how you care for yourself is the first step. If you're not sleeping properly, if you're not eating properly, you're going to be a lesser version of you, which means you can do less, which means you're going to achieve less. So then the next thing people say is, well, I don't have the time to invest in myself, or I don't want to take the time away from my kids or my wife. Well, I get that. It shouldn't be a selfish act. You should make some sacrifices on your time. Find the dumb shit you're doing, the brainless TV, the brainless scrolling, or maybe just wake up a little earlier. You say, oh, well, I'm too tired to do that. Well, no shit, you're too tired because you're not caring for yourself. It's going to take, a little bit of being uncomfortable to get out of the gate. And then once you do it, you'll start to feel better. You'll actually be creating time in your life, whether you're waking up early or you're doing things more efficiently, and you're not going to miss the Little League game or movie night with your wife. You will create the time, or you will actually have the energy to get up early and have more time. So if you're one of those out there that thinks, man, I really need to get better, I need to make more money, I need to do better at what I'm doing, start with yourself, especially business owners. You tend to put more energy into your business when you need to do is put more energy into yourself. You're trying to build a business, but are you building you? Your business is only going to be as good as you are. Now, if this is something that you want to talk more about, go into my LinkedIn DM, send me a DM, and let's have a chat, because this is what I specialize in. Especially for you business owners or people that are 100% commission, we level you up personally, and your business follows whether you like it or not. Rock and roll.
Know how to connect with him. You can find him on LinkedIn, Jon Andersen. You can also find Keith Billis. Johnny's going to step away, Jimmy, for a quick little break. And then, Johnny, we're going to come back and break down our conversation with Omid. We're going to get into the deep dive in AJ Zeglin. Joining us here in a quick second. But you guys heard Johnny there. You're going to find Johnny on LinkedIn. You're going to find me on LinkedIn. We're doing this on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X every single day. And, guys, we are full of gratitude that you're tuning in and choosing to spend your time with us, especially you, Texas Repo. I got you, man. And you know, Texas, I'm not there far behind you, man. I'm not against solar or electric cars. These climate nuts are trying to run our lives. F them. And you know what, Texas? I can't fully disagree with you, my brother. I really can't. Listen, I drive an electric car, but I also drive a gas-powered Jeep. I understand the changes happening in the world right now with wind power and solar power, and like you, I'm not against them. I also know there's great value in extracting that oil from the ground and making the riches flow. So there's a balance. I get it. And, you know, it's, let me just say, Texas, there is a balance. So whether we're using wind, whether we're using solar, or whether we're using gas, we're wrecking some part of the environment along the way. And guys, to continue my little discussion here about our community, we don't take a single minute of you guys for granted. We get up here every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X, and we show up to help you at home, at work, everywhere in between. The reason we get up every single day is to help you guys get up and get after, not hit that snooze button. So I invite you guys to join the community, join the Mornings in the Lab community. Tell your friends, tell your buddies, tell everybody about the greatest morning show, getting it after it every single day right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. And guys, I want to say one last thing about this. Not here to buy the yachts, not here to buy the big buildings. We're here to build a movement, to grow the team and deliver more value to you. Speaking of teams, if you guys haven't met him, there's a pretty damn kind fellow out there. His name is Matt Roof, who's out there spreading the uncommon kindness out there to all of you guys. So if you guys haven't connected with our teammate, Matt Roof, I'd invite you guys to connect with Matty over there on the LinkedIn community as well. Roof is running some uncommon kindness stuff for you guys to see as well. Mike Sullivan, good seeing you, Sully. Good to see you there in the comments. Good morning, John. Gave me some solid advice to help me with my awakening early. Good to see you, Sullivan. Sullivan's been hanging out with us for a long time. Same with Good Time. Same with Adam Holroyd, the OG here in the community on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. So Jimmy, when Johnny comes back, we're going to have a quick little chat about our guest Omid, and then we're going to do it to get into the deep dive, and then we're going to bring AJ in. Johnny, we had a quick little chat about Omid. What's one thing you took away from that conversation, brother?
You know, I just like the fact that, you know, he thinks outside the box. He saw something, that he saw an opportunity, and he decided to go see if he could create a solution. Yeah, there's entrepreneurs and there's procrastinators. He's not a procrastinator. That's to me what I took about it most too, Johnny, is that, you know, we've talked to so many folks in the show, and you and I are wrapping our arms around someday and one day and yet. Well, Omid didn't do someday, one day or yet. He's like, no, there's a problem. I'm going to go solve it. Got in his truck, drove to Home Depot, and started just getting the materials. And you know what, pal? I lean into this one thing with you right now. The guy just started moving. That's it. He started moving towards Home Depot and created some momentum. Next thing you know, 3 years later, he's got himself exactly. Bam, bam, bam. So, all right. You're hanging out with Keith and John, and AJ's coming up. Jimmy, let's do the deep dive. Have you ever noticed how the men in your life seem to have it all together on the outside, but something feels off? Jimmy, let's run the deep dive intro, brother.
In the quiet of the morning, a silent battle rages. The weight of isolation, a burden unseen. But even in the deepest shadows, a flicker of hope ignites, a yearning for something more, a connection waiting to be found. The journey begins with a single step, a reach beyond the self, embracing vulnerability, finding strength in shared experience. From struggle to triumph, from solitude to belonging. This is the awakening. This is the power of true connection. This is the deep dive on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. I'm calling the silent struggle the shocking reality that 95% of men are having significant and we're hiding significant mental health challenges, even from those closest to them. Hanging out with our brother, AJ Zanglin. We're going to unpack why this happens, what it costs us as men, and most importantly, how to break free from this pattern that's literally killing us. Now, guys, this is not another mental health discussion. No, this is about survival, connection, and reclaiming authentic selves in a world that often demands we wear masks. So let's be clear about what's at stake here, guys. The silent struggle isn't just about feeling bad. It's directly connected to the alarming rise, and we talked about it last week, male suicide rates, which remain 3 to 4 times higher than women's. It's linked to relationship breakdowns, career burnout, and physical health deterioration that many men experience. Breaking the cycle isn't just about feeling better. It's about it's literally about saving lives and transforming what it means to be a man in 2025. Let's get into it. Let's get into what the latest research is telling us about men's mental health in 2025. AJ, who's joining us here this morning, our mental performance expert. AJ, brother, we leaned into this a little bit last week, and the numbers are staggering, man. A recent global wellness study found that about 95% of men now acknowledge that mental health is important to them, but only 1 in 8 will actually seek help when struggling. AJ, what do you think when you hear that?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I didn't have the opportunity to do this yesterday because I don't have his contact info, but I want to say Happy Father's Day to John. I know
thank you,
we
brother.
got to exchange yesterday.
Well, hold on. I'm going to just take care of that real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask my personal assistant to forward my phone number to you.
Yeah,
I will do that after the show.
Perfect.
I'll make sure that, yeah.
Yeah, why we don't have each other's phone numbers, I don't know why, brother. That was silly. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so Keith, to answer your question, I think that, so first of all, like we've talked about many times, all men want to feel useful. They want to feel like they have a purpose, right? I would say that's number one. But a very close second behind that is there's no man that wants to feel like he's a burden. And I think the feeling is that, if you're not, you're already feeling like you're maybe not in a great space because you feel like maybe you're not useful, you're not contributing, you're not helpful, you're not, you don't have a strong sense of purpose. And then all of a sudden you're like, if I share this now, not only do I not have a purpose, but now I'm a burden on others. And there's no man that wants to be a burden on his family, on his friends, and I know that's the stigma that we're trying to erase. But I think if we're talking honestly, that's why men aren't saying anything, because they don't want to feel like they're,
Johnny, AJ, the research that I found points to 5 specific barriers that keep men silent. Let's go through them. The first one, Johnny, the performance paradox. We are all caught up in this hyper competitive world now. And AJ, men are caught up in this brutal contradiction. We're told to be vulnerable and authentic, but then simultaneously, Johnny, we're expected to project this constant strength and confidence. And I look to you because I know that you're the ultimate dichotomy of that, which is you project this constant strength and confidence, but yet you're extremely vulnerable and authentic. Why do you think that's so difficult for most men, Johnny?
I think it comes down to this whole thing is because too many people follow the rules. This is if you don't give a shit what other people think about you, which would be breaking the rules, then you're going to be able to speak out, reach out, and realize that some people are going to say X, Y, Z, and it doesn't matter. So many times people don't do something because they're afraid of what other people are going to say or think. And, especially when it comes to pressure with being successful, sometimes it fucking feels really good to say, you know what? I fucked this up. I'm going to have to rebuild it, but I fucked it up. And sometimes people would rather do something in a self-sabotaging manner than admit the fact that they have to rebuild it, so to speak.
The other issue, AJ, is the digital isolation effect. Despite us all being more connected than ever, these studies are showing that men have fewer close relationships than any time in recorded history. AJ, the average man over 35 has less than one person they can talk to about serious personal issues. And again, I got to think that's why your business and, the mental health world that you're working in is thriving, because men are like, I got nobody to talk to. I'm going to go talk to AJ and I'll pay him for it. That's what your business is, but that's the reality of it, AJ.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And part of that too is even just it's the perception of it. It's what we believe to be true, but it's really not true. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I guarantee you that men out there have a lot more people to talk to than they think that they do.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if they're feeling that way, guess what? Those guys that you maybe don't consider in your close circle, or you don't think that they're close enough for you to reach out and talk to, they're all feeling the same way. So it's I don't want to say the stats are incorrect, because they are correct in how it's being reported, but I think that if you talk to guys, I think if you went and talked to any man, been like, hey, if your buddy reached out to you, or this coworker this guy that you work with, or this guy that you, I don't know, played football with back in college, but haven't talked to in 10 years, or any of these people reach out to you, would you be open to having a conversation with them and helping them out? And every single guy would be like, yeah, man, I hope he wouldn't hesitate to call. Right.
Brother, you make such a good point. I just want to interject real quick.
Yeah.
Most men are really blown away at how many other men will come to help if they ask.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, brother. So you're
perfect.
fucking dropping these fucking pearls, and I just think, God, if people could understand that, so many more people will come running to help you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And because not only, sorry, go ahead, Keith.
No, go ahead, AJ. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, not only that is, we talked about the feeling of purpose and being useful. Well, also, what other better way to be useful than feel like you're helping out a fellow man?
Yeah,
right? And feeling like you have a purpose with a fellow man. So sometimes by reaching out, you're not only helping yourself in that moment when you recognize that you maybe need a hand, you're also giving that other person the opportunity to help. And that's such a powerful experience for them to have as well, right?
Yeah. So true. So true. I mean, it's, the idea that somehow, some way we think that people are not going to help again, this is going back to the rules. If you break the rules of society and you're constantly just kind of doing what is best for you, not worried about what society or people are going to think, so much of this shit doesn't get in the way. It's like the idea that people are more afraid of what people are going to say than the actual failure itself.
Yes. Roofy joining the conversation says, I've had my struggles, had my plan set for April 2022 before my 50th. I finally humbled myself and begged for help. Now I get to hang with us. Roofy, you're so kind, brother. The third one on our list of barriers that are keeping men silent, AJ, is the success trap. Many men, many of us, and I was absolutely one of them, AJ, tied our identity so closely to external achievements that my achievements attach to my identity. And when that identity changes, what happens, brother? Your identity is lost and you start struggling and flailing around all over the place. And this problem is particularly acute for high achievers who've built their entire self-worth, athletes, entrepreneurs, guys that are getting after and waking up going, okay, I've achieved all this success on a Friday, quote unquote. And then Monday, their heads are spinning going, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with me. Zeglin.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's seen it, right? It's really easy to get caught up in the whole perceived success through work. And I just say perceived because obviously the monetary value of our success through work or what we do is just one element of it, right? And it's not that it's not important, right? It is, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. And it's not the whole level of importance, right? And the thing is that my advice to people from working people, I would encourage them to have a bit of self-reflection and think back, hey, am I reducing my whole value in this world down to one single thing. And if I am, I probably need to think a little differently. I probably got to reevaluate my priorities, right? So if I have put my whole value as a human being and reduced it just to the number of money I made in 1 year, and that's it, that's my whole value, is just reduced to the number of money I made in a single year, I probably need to reevaluate my priorities, or how I'm measuring success, or how I'm, because there's other things that are important, right? Mind you too, it goes the other way. If I've reduced myself just to, I don't know, how many cars I own or this or that, right? All these external kind of rewards, like you said, that we can accumulate through having success in life and business, then I would just encourage people then just to, a little bit of self-reflection, reevaluate what your values are. And because there's probably some room.
I love that you used the word. I love that you used the word. Oh, sorry. I thought you broke up there. I love that you used the word perceived.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another thing too that's we should bring up here, and I'd love to hear your talk on this, AJ. You're so correct. If someone is gauging their worth on how much money they make, right, in their job, right? The guy that doesn't like his job, that might be the only thing that he has to gauge. So what do you say to that guy?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and there's the balance, right? You talk to people all the time, and I encourage people obviously to try to find something that they love to do and that they're passionate about, right? Now, I fully, though, understand that sometimes people are also making decisions just on the fact of being a man and having to take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of the people around you. Sometimes people are working jobs that they're not crazy about. Sometimes they're doing stuff that they're not passionate about, but they understand that there's a responsibility there, right? And to meet their responsibility, they're doing what they need to do, which I completely respect that. I honor that. I think that's a very admirable thing to do, right? And then you have people in another category that are maybe, it has nothing to do with the responsibility, but there's a price tag attached to that one thing that they're doing. And to them at that moment in their lives, it seems like that's the most important thing. And it's more important than them feeling like they're, bringing value or enjoying what they're doing. Right. So, I hate to say this, but there's such a, when you're working in the field of mental health and psychology and stuff, everyone is kind of their own individual case. So it's, you find yourself a lot of times answering a lot of questions with, it depends, so for someone that was in that situation, it would kind of depend on what the rest of their life looks like around that, right? Like if someone came in and sat down and told me, hey, I don't really love my job. And then we start talking and I realize that, this is a guy with a lot of responsibilities and he's just grinding away for his wife and his kids and his family. And he's being a great provider. I would say, hey man, you're doing a great job. Like, that's awesome. Like, keep going, maybe we can
it's interesting because
elements or opportunities in your life to find stuff that you're passionate about, but it's such a case by case basis.
Well, here'd be a thought too, though. I mean, this is something that I really hang my hat on. There are times as an entrepreneur where you're fucking struggling. It's like,
yes,
work, head up, nothing fucking happened. Work, fuck, head up, nothing happened. And you got to get up every day knowing that could happen again. So as an entrepreneur, you can't always bank on the fact that it's going to be fun. It's going to be fulfilling. Your purpose may not even be you may not even be able to be, diving into your purpose. You're trying to lay the framework. So
Johnny,
one of the things, what's up?
I was going to say, Johnny, I want to add to your comment there. I'm going to throw on the table something somewhat maybe controversial. Most people should not be entrepreneurs because most people have no idea.
Yeah. Especially if you're a committed entrepreneur without some sort of a safety net job.
No,
but here's the remedy for this. It'll work for an entrepreneur. It'll work for someone who's in a job they don't like, because what I'm talking about is that phase where I'm not finding the joy in what I'm doing. I know that it's coming.
Yes.
But what I have to do is I have to look at my day. and I have to find joy in the tasks I'm doing in my day. Break them down.
Yes.
Like I have to find, like I have a section laid out today for, and I'm not in one of those phases right now, but sometimes working on social media can be, depending on what you're doing, it can be a little fruitless, right?
Yes.
So this section I'm working on today, I'm like, son of a bitch, but I looked at, no, flip the script. You're going to find the joy in doing this because you're going to do this a little bit different. You're going to do it a little bit better.
Yes.
So you look for those little wins in these tasks that may not float your boat. And what you have to do is you have to find these little places to insert positive associations and excitement into those days where you feel like there's not going to be any paychecks, if you will.
Yeah, we're talking the silent struggle with AJ Zeglin, myself, Keith Billis, and Jon Andersen this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And AJ, this next one on the list of what's keeping men silent, and you teased upon it, but I really want to shine the light on it with a massive light, AJ, the responsibility burden.
Right.
Most men still feel this disproportionate identity as the primary provider, and you said it, which is, I got to provide for my family. And I'm having some struggles right now, and I'm just going to keep myself quiet and put my head down and go to work. But that is the number one on this list of what keeps men quiet, AJ. Are you surprised by that?
No, not at all. I don't think so. I think if you talk to any man with a family and ask them, to list their priorities or where they feel their responsibilities best lie, I think extremely high percentage of them would start with that, right? They'd be like, oh, I got to be a provider, right? Take care of my family. I think that's probably the majority of everyone's first answer. So I'm not surprised to hear that that's number one on the list. If we can reframe that though, right, and realize hey, we're all feeling that way, right? Like that's okay. That's number one on all our lists. Like, let's help each other out. Like there's a lot of responsibility. Let's help each other out, man. We can do this. Like we all understand we're in the same spot, right? We don't have to hide it or not want to talk about it. We could reach out, we could talk, we could help each other out. What better people to help us out than our own community of other men that also feel a responsibility for taking care of their families, right? They have a lot of experience in it too, right? We can lend a lot of advice. There's a lot of value.
What's crazy, AJ? What's crazy? What's crazy is many of us men were hanging out yesterday. Some of us were together with families and brothers and fathers and uncles and so forth. And when you hear the stat, 95%, that means that the gathering you were at, sitting with your fathers and brothers and buddies, pretty much everybody there was struggling with some mental health issues, but nobody's talking about it.
Right.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty much. Right? But nobody wants to say anything about it. And then the last one listed right, was the solution bias. And I know John has often talked about this in his journey of life, but men are socialized to be problem solvers. They got to solve a problem, got to solve a problem, got to solve a problem. And when you can't solve it, you start feeling inadequate, and then you avoid the problem altogether. So it's like, if I can't solve it, I'm just going to become quiet. Right. Simple as that. And then we withdraw is essentially what happens, right? But here's where I thought it got interesting. New research from Stanford Men's Wellness Initiative, guys, says that men who break through these barriers and address their mental health don't just survive, they thrive. They report, and AJ, you would know this. I'm sure you'd know it's just through working with your clients. 40% higher relationship satisfaction, 35% better health outcomes, 65% higher workplace engagement, and perhaps most surprisingly, an almost 60% increase in leadership effectiveness. And what I found about this was quite interesting, is that the last point is crucial, because contrary to what many men fear, Johnny and AJ, addressing mental health challenges doesn't make you weaker to others. It actually enhances your capacity to lead, connect, and perform at your best. And that's the irony to this whole thing, isn't it?
It totally is, man. It totally is. You're sitting there and you're quiet, and they want change, and people want these things to happen. And literally, like, just everything that you want to accomplish, everything that you want to change in your life, everything that you want to be, that you wish could be different, or that you could grow and evolve into, is lying right on the other side of what you're avoiding doing. And in this case, for a lot of men, we're avoiding reaching out and talking and asking for a little bit of help. And everything we want is right on the other side of that. We can have it, but we got to go through that. You got to go through that process of asking for help and getting advice and working to grow and become better, right? And it's right there for all of us. And like you said, that's the ironic part is we're avoiding it, and we're avoiding the one thing that's actually going to help get us there, right?
Because it's right in front of us, but we've been so conditioned to avoid it, right? That we walk around it, walk in circles, and yet if we can just find a way. And again, this is why I thought this was a great topic to talk about, because what we can do about it, guys, as simple as this, is walk towards it and not be silent. It's the whole reason we started this show, is to give us a platform and a place to have these kinds of conversations.
100%.
And that adversity piece, we see it everywhere, right? Like you see it, that ability to build the resiliency, like you wonder why you come out the other side of it. Like you said, better in all these aspects of your life. It's no different. We talk about, sports a lot. Guys loves the sports analogies. Well, look at a team, every team that wins at the end of the year, at some point during the year, they had to get help. They went through adversity. They went through a low point, right? Things weren't going your way. Things didn't go well. And what do you do at that time, right? The team doesn't stay silent, right? They start working together. They talk to each other. They have meetings. They watch film together. They train together. They communicate better with each other to try to figure out what's going wrong. And they work through it. And then at the end of the year, someone's going to be a championship, and they have that success. But that happened. They went through that too, right? Like you have to go through this adversity, right? You have to go, there's no way around it, right? So you want, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, everything you want's right on the other side of what you're avoiding doing.
AJ Zeglin joining us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Mind Fuel, a mental performance segment that's helping men get their day started, get their mind in shape, and achieve some of the biggest goals in life. We got Texas Repo coming in with start being men, stop being beta men. Interesting comment, Texas. I'm quite intrigued by that. And Texas, I'm glad you're hanging out with us in the show. Hopefully you're subscribing and being a part of the channel. AJ, what do you think about that? Start being men instead of being beta men. That's interesting, actually, because we would think that there's the alpha male, then there's the beta male, right? So I'm intrigued by the way that Repo is throwing this on the table for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just an extension of, we were talking about the whole idea of the alpha male, right? And just like,
yes.
On how there's again, we're talking about perceptions. There's a perception of what an alpha male is out there, and then there's the reality, right? And a lot of the perception, it's all like the smoke and mirrors or whatever. So
that's true.
I would just, I guess what he's getting there is saying to start being men and stop being beta. I feel like too, I'm not exactly sure what his definition of a beta male is. I'm assuming maybe something, links to that whole alpha conversation. Or
Texas,
whatever.
Would love to hear your definition.
What is it?
I don't know. AJ broke up there. I'd love to hear Texas Repo's definition of a beta male. AJ Zeglin, thanks for hanging out with us this morning, brother. I hope you have yourself an awesome day. What do you got going on the agenda today? On the Monday, we usually have you here on Tuesdays for Deep Cheek Day. What do you got going on today?
Yeah. So today's going to be a little bit of a mix, like a push-pull day, but for the upper body.
There we go.
Awesome.
There we go. Well, now we got AJ on more regularly, so we're going to hear different stuff while he's doing each day. That's right.
And AJ, I'll make sure that I pass your phone number to my boss, Johnny, this morning. Yeah. So you have you guys can stay connected and have conversations outside of the show. All right, Zeglin. Oh, and we got Texas Repo coming in with no smoke and mirrors, just truth. Texas, I can't disagree with you, man. That's what you're going to get on the show. You're going to get truth every single day, whether people like it or not. That's what we're all about here as well. Authentic, honest conversation. No bullshit. Zeglin, I appreciate you, man. Lots of love towards you. Hey, I felt for Cal Saturday night, brother. I know I'm cheering for Florida, but I was thinking about Cal as Florida was just chomping the man. 3-4 goals. I was like, oh, brother.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was tough. I mean, just objectively, if I watched that hockey game, I'm like, Florida was just a better team that night. They were better in every facet of the game. They were all over them. Didn't give Edmonton any space to really do anything. So, but that's the great thing about sports. And when you have something like a series like this, you got the opportunity to dump it. And tomorrow night it's a new game, like nothing happened, right? So we'll see who comes to play tomorrow.
There you go.
There we go, baby.
You got some comments from Good Time. Thank you, AJ. And of course, Texas Repo. Y'all have a great day. Texas, thanks for hanging out with us, man. You come back and hang with us again. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Come back to Mornings and Live with Keith and friends. Zeglin, have yourself a great day, brother.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Right on, AJ.
All right, AJ's going to get out of here. Interesting stuff there, Johnny. Johnny, you got to go here at the bottom of the hour. I'm thinking, hey, pal?
Yeah, 6:30. I got to, when I'm home, I'm always going to be able to stay till 6:30.
Yeah, excellent. Well, listen, I got something interesting for us that I know you're going to be quite intrigued with. Jimmy, 22-year-old men now have the testosterone of 67-year-olds from 2000, Johnny. And Jimmy, let's play this opener. We're going to have a chat about it. And I know Anderson's going to love this one because it all has to do with this crappy non-food that we're eating. Jimmy, let's run this opener.
22-year-old men today have the testosterone levels of 67-year-old men from the year 2000. This isn't aging. This is the systematic destruction of male biology happening in real time. Welcome to the testosterone apocalypse. And every man needs to understand what's happening to their body. Your lifestyle is killing your hormones. One night of poor sleep drops testosterone 30%. Plastic chemicals, processed foods, chronic stress, they're feminizing men at the cellular level. The average man is under constant hormonal. But this apocalypse isn't inevitable. You can protect and optimize your testosterone naturally. Prioritize sleep, eliminate toxins, manage stress, reclaim your biological potential. The choice is yours. Decline or optimize.
Testosterone isn't just about masculinity. It's about energy, motivation, muscle mass, bone density, cognitive function, overall life performance. When testosterone crashes, everything crashes. Johnny, it's men's lifestyles. I'd love to hear your rant, your opinion on this, because when I saw this, I'm thinking, I know my brother has some comments on this, because we are seeing the constant deterioration around us. Help our young men get up and get after it and reclaim their testosterone, Johnny.
Well, it's pretty simple, and they laid it out in there. It's somehow, it's the diet. It's the lack of sleep. It's it's somehow, some way, what has become acceptable as a lifestyle this is what people do now. And the lifestyle that's become acceptable, which is, not caring for yourself, is crushing testosterone. So, if you just, it's pretty simple. If you feel like this is you, look at how you're living your life. And the odds are you're going to realize that you're living your life in a way that's doing this to you. Yeah. It's just like, compare your testosterone to making money. You can live your lifestyle in a way that's going to help you make money, or you can live your lifestyle in a way a better way to put it. You can live your lifestyle in a way that's going to help you get wealthy, rich, or you can live your lifestyle in a way that's going to keep you broke. What are you choosing? It all kind of goes in the same vein as the crazy part about it, because if you're taking care of yourself, your testosterone is going to be better. You're going to be, and it's not just testosterone. There's so many things that go into this. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more focus. You're going to have better ideas, and you'll make better decisions, which then parlays into a different life. So, testosterone is one of many things that you're robbing yourself from by having a poor lifestyle.
And Johnny's right, you guys. And the statistics are alarming. Testosterone levels have dropped 1 to 2% per year for the past 40 years. Guys, this isn't aging. This is environmental and lifestyle destruction of the male biology. right? Young men today are hormonally equivalent to elderly men from previous generations. And, McQuillan comes into this. Says, do you think that has something to do with the portable radiation that people are carrying? Hey, Jay, what's shaking, brother? Good to see you there on the X side of things.
That's probably one of 100 things.
Yes. Yeah.
I think the portable radiation, for those who know, he's talking about a phone.
Yeah.
But keep your phone and eat right. Keep your phone and exercise. Keep your phone, have a set bedtime.
Bingo.
And your life will change. I always go back to one of your countrymen. I'm having a brain fart. $100 million plus guy, just crushing it. Martel. What's his name?
Dan Martel.
Yeah, Dan. There we go.
Yeah.
He says, look, if you have a set bedtime, you're probably going to be really successful.
Yes.
It's just one simple fucking thing.
But you know what crazy, Johnny, about that? And we use the word intention on this show often. And I had this conversation at my family Father's Day dinner yesterday. I was talking about my intentional bedtime and how it's been a game changer for me. I know you've been on this journey for longer than I have, but it's actually changed my life. I know it's hyperbole, but having that set bedtime, like I was up this morning for my alarm because I was in bed last night at a good time, and it's been a changer for me. And life is so set up to not have us have that set bedtime that you have to intentionally make those choices, man. You have to. It's
set up to not make those choices if you're following the rules.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, if you want to be like most people, men, of course, they want to be the man. Who doesn't want to be the man? We want to be the guy that walks in the room, everybody kind of notices. You want to be the man that's, XYZ. There's so many ways to be the man.
Yes.
Well, guess what? All you got to do to be the man is stop doing a few of the dumb fucking things that the average man does, and you will become the man. It's so easy now.
Yeah, it's so true.
Easy.
Yes,
so
yes,
easy.
Yes.
I mean, let's pick three. Set bedtime. Make better decisions with your diet, and have some form of movement every day for at least 15 to 30 minutes. That will completely separate you from the masses.
Yes. Fit Mike McQuillan coming in with junk food and poor sleep have been around forever. If change happened over the past 24 years, it has to be phone related. Mike, I think it's everything, right? I think it's, because the phone keeps us up at night, right? Because we're scrolling. But
all the stuff, the junk food and all the shit has gotten worse.
Oh, it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere, right? Every end cap, every gas station. You can't look around anywhere with packaged crap. You open up your phone and it's saying buy this packaged crap. So sure.
I mean, your phone is an instigator to making the problem worse, for sure. 100%. But it's not the fucking phone's problem. No. It's the operator's fucking problem.
Yes. Yes, that's exact. So, well, McQuillan, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I don't want to lean too much into the radiation side. To me, the phone is the conduit to everything that just kills our brains, right? So that to me
I think that's all part of the addiction to our phones now is off the charts, and this is really how this is how people are being controlled, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, you got some young daughters, and I have some young kids as well. I got a quick little segment here I want to throw in here. I think it's going to make you quite pleased, and it's making me pleased as well. Which is, I know we got Holroyd coming in. It's so much to do with the food. Most food is the grocery store is just a pile of chemicals made to taste good. Holroyd, you're right, man. I don't even know if we can call the grocery store a food store anymore, because
if you're walking around the outside, you can.
Yeah. But even still, Johnny, some of the outside stuff you have to, because the grocers are smart. Right, it's massaging what's happening on the outside now too, and it's again back to intention. You got to intentionally select the right stuff and don't get caught up with all the crap that's starting to perpetuate around the outside of the grocery store as well, Johnny.
Well, food is a business, and if you're going to be successful using a business, you need to understand the purpose of the business you're using.
Yes. We got Frozen Spaceman saying the phone I put straight into my veins after snorting brain blasters. Really frozen. Nicely done. And then Roofy, the phone doesn't have to be a method to be controlled. Be the controller. Create. I agree. Use it to create instead of consume. All right. Hey guys, listen. What if I told you that Gen Z couples are twice as likely as other generations to create detailed financial plans before marriage, and it's leading to higher relationship satisfaction? Jimmy, let's run this video, brother.
Previous generations got married based on love and hope. Gen Z is adding something revolutionary. They're treating marriage like a business partnership that requires planning and protection. And it's changing everything about how relationships work. They discuss debt, create budgets, negotiate responsibilities, and draft prenups. They plan career trajectories and set financial goals together. Love is still essential, but it's not enough anymore. The result? Marriage is built on both passion and practical wisdom. They're combining the romance of love with the security of planning. This might be the future of successful relationships.
This up because you talk often about selecting your partner is the biggest decision you can make in your life, your wife or your partner, right? And understanding Gen Z's approach to marriage isn't just about generational differences. It's about learning from a generation, ours, that's witnessed the highest divorce rates in history and deciding to do things differently. You have young daughters. I have young children. I can tell you right now, I'm extremely pleased that there's this mentality going in with, hey, let's talk about this not only from love, but from the quote unquote business side of things. Anderson, your comments.
I mean, I think there's no question that stuff needs to be laid out. But I think that the first part that needs to be looked at is that people don't really understand how marriage works. Perfect example. Someone has a big problem. So, well, let's just get married. Like that's going to fix it. So, okay.
Or let's have a kid.
So you have even worse. So you have this relationship right here, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden here's the relationship and here's kind of the expectations of the relationship. And it's already fucking struggling, right? Because everybody has problems. Now you're going to take the expectation side and you're going to get married, go way up, but the relationship hasn't changed to actually support those expectations. So, we're married, right? And all of a sudden it's tomorrow. Well, you're going to be the wife, just so you know. They say, well, you're my wife. You're my wife. I need breakfast on the table. Well, where the fuck did that come from? You weren't fucking cooking me breakfast yesterday. Well, but you're my wife now. So people get married with this idea that's going to fit. All it does is create more expectations on a relationship that can't support what it was prior to the marriage.
Yes. That's exactly right. We got some comments in the community. B-Drive, I see you there. Good morning, brother. Brophy coming in with Johnny. In Canada, divorce ratio going down because nobody wants to get married anymore. I'm a single dad and I pulled the plug on 2 engagements because I can't hand over the keys to half of what I have. Well, bro, there's certainly something to be said for that. I can relate. I've been there. I've chopped away half. It's the reality. But again, that's why I thought this was a good conversation because Johnny has dropped it a number of times on the show, which is, a marriage is a business relationship, and we need to be treating them that way, right? And we need to have our roles defined. We need to talk about it, and it's yes, love is important, but there's so much more, Johnny, than just quote unquote love. Right. And society, I think, has messed up with that term for a long time.
Yep. 100%, brother.
So
100%.
Anyway, we did it. We tried a few new things on the show here today. We got some video intros coming up here. And the ambition is to continue doing that, which is creating these little video intros to start the conversations off. And Johnny, I can tell you, man, everything you saw today was my desire to keep using these AI tools to make our show even better. So it's a little more fun and some more visual stuff here, brother.
Got to keep growing, babe.
Got to keep growing. What do you got going on the agenda today? What's up for you today? You're back home. You're back home.
I am.
What's happening?
Yeah, well, because I've got because this house in California, the lake house, is really set up for get-togethers and stuff like that. Yeah. Now that Terry, we stayed here for a long time because Terry's injury and surgery, but like this weekend we got my middle daughter coming with a bunch of friends. The following weekend after that, we've got 4th of July. So we've got, it's going to be a lot of fun the next couple of weeks. But this week is just basically kicking ass so that when my daughter gets here, I can kind of hit cruise control a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without snoozing.
Really what that means is, I'll be up a little earlier and just be, I'll get up and kick ass from 2 a.m. till noon. So I'll have a full, what normal people consider a full day. And then I'll enjoy spending time with my loved ones from noon until I go to sleep.
I love how bizarre we both are, you and I. And I'm going to put myself in the group with you because I think I'm as weird as you are. Because when you say that, I get all excited. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking smart, man. You get to bed in good time. Because here's what people still haven't figured out either, man. Guys, all your bad decisions happen after 7 o'clock at night. Go to bed. True story.
Yep.
It's true, Johnny. It's absolutely true.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. And then when 100%. We're tired the next day, what happens when you're tired? You make bad decisions. So guys, go to bed.
Decisions change your life.
That's exactly it. All right, Anderson, I love you, brother. Have a good one today.
I love you too, bro. Have a good loop. I'll see you in a moment.
You betcha. See you in less than 24. Johnny's going to get out of here, guys. We're going to keep the show rocking and rolling here with our upcoming guest, Tyler Leach, in the community corner. Guys, what if I told you today's guest has survived near-death experiences? Not 1, not 2, not 3. Jimmy. 4 motherfucking times. Yeah, true story. Accidentally almost got a minor in business writing and believes your morning coffee addiction might be the secret to revolutionary marketing. Yeah. Coming up, Tyler Leach, about to caffeinate your understanding of human-centered marketing. Right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Good time, sun goes down, get to bed. It's hard to argue with that. I have been getting much better with my intentional sleep, and I'm certainly enjoying it. I just wake up with such great energy. And but I'm telling you, I've said to you guys before, man, the world is set up not to sleep. It's funny because I love 7-Eleven. It's just all this, although it's just full of crap food's whole, right? Do you want to even call it food? But yeah, the world's set up not to sleep. So if we can find a way to sleep, we will find ways to create magic, is what we're going to do here. All right, Jim, we're going to bring up our Brophy. No, Brophy. I used to live that mentality of sleep when dead. I've learned over the last few years that that's wrong because I want to be around for a long time for my kids. So I've actually had to reshuffle my thinking that sleep is what's going to be my magic to keep myself alive a lot longer and hang out with my kids. So I've removed FOMO from my world, Brophy, and I'm now diving into the world of sleep. So, all right, listen, I'm going to set it up, Jimmy. I'm going to bring in our next guest here. I'm just going to get some tunes rolling for us to do that intro. And, but I think I'm going to make it sound a little bit like this, actually. We'll have some fun with it. There we go. Boom, boom. We got Tyler Leach, the marketing director at Ledford Billiard Supply, and is the self-proclaimed coffee addict. Yeah, he is. Who believes no cup of coffee is dark enough. With 10 years of marketing experience spanning everything from AI automation to helping interior designers find the perfect pool tables for their clients, he's got a unique philosophy. Marketing is about people. Yeah, not screens. Well, there's something kind of unique. We're going to dive into his fascinating journey through various industries, obsession with human behavior psychology, and why he thinks businesses are stuck using logical methods in a logical world. This morning, Mornings Alive with Keith and friends, is excited to introduce you guys all to. There he is, Tyler Leach. What's up,
Howdy.
Tyler?
How you doing?
How are you, pal?
I'm doing good.
Good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Where are you joining me from today, brother?
I'm from.
Oh, I didn't hear. You got some really bad audio there on your mic, pal. Where are you?
Let me try that.
There you go. Where are you joining me from today?
Greenville, South Carolina. Can you hear me?
Oh, Greenville, South Carolina. I can, and I've been to Greenville, South Carolina before. Absolutely, I have. Yeah,
Great.
Down there for some NASCAR racing years ago, which was fun.
Yeah. Well, we're close to Charlotte, which is like a kind of NASCAR haven right there. So,
That's
yeah,
exactly,
so we have a
that's
little bit of
exactly.
we're really close to it. So we do a lot of business, honestly. Like Greenville, South Carolina is kind of it's the stop between Atlanta and Charlotte and also Charleston, and so it's a nice little place that has a lot of commerce, and it's a great little city, or I should say medium-sized city. It's not really small.
Yeah, there you go. So Tyler, we celebrated you on the Creator Spotlight, the Community Corner, a couple weeks back. Now you're here to join us here today. You said marketing is, you said that marketing is people, not screens. Tell us about a time when treating someone like a human instead of a lead completely changed the outcome for you.
Yeah, so a lot of people, like when they think of marketing, you would say, when you go to a business owner or whatever, and you say, "Hey, what is marketing to you?" Most likely, probably in my experience at least, 95% of the time they're going to say leads, and that's certainly part of marketing, right? But I'm also a big fan of analytics and data when it comes to marketing, which is going to be weird because we're talking about human beings, but the big number that people can't get over is that 95% of the time, if we're talking about lead generation, your ideal client isn't ready to buy, right? So they're not like ready to purchase right away. Only 5% are. And so when I first got started in marketing, even in my mindset was, getting leads, getting leads, getting leads. And then the more I got into it, really, if you look at it, you have another person on the other end of the screen for whatever you're doing, digital marketing, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you were to meet that person in real life, let's say you're at a networking meeting, if you went up to the person and just started pitching them, the likelihood of you actually closing that person is probably only 5%. So I quickly came to the realization, like, hey, most people should probably spend in their marketing budget, at least 80% on building their audience, which people do on LinkedIn, that people do with their podcast, whatever it is. But also when it even comes to running your ads, I've had a lot of experience in the Meta, running of ads on Meta, and a lot of people go straight to, just getting leads. And there's really a process that you should take to, get really good leads. So you were talking about an example. I was working for a Navy SEAL. He actually had a business consulting community, business consulting business, and I had recently taken a marketing course from Billy Jean Marketing. I don't know if you're familiar with him. But one of the things he preaches, and this is something that I really recommend to people, is like use your Meta ads platform as really the same type of funnel that a normal person would take. And so I basically created the funnel, and we can definitely go into that. But we ran ads to it, and man, we were getting like hundreds of people on our webinar, and it took a little bit longer. Instead of like running the ads one day and getting some, it was basically like, hey, I took this amount of time and like a week, and it did really, really well. So that was unique.
Yeah. So community-based marketing, Tyler, is your current obsession. So what's the one community building strategy that most marketers are completely missing today?
Yeah, so that's like a really good question. One of the things I would say that they're not looking at is, building their audience. So offline. So what I mean by that is not like offline computer, but like off social media. So
Off platform.
yeah, so like even email, which has, even the worst can get like a 15% open rate versus social media, which has like a 3 to 5. So
yeah. So you're saying the biggest mistake people are missing out is building up their Substacks and newsletter list still.
yeah, I mean, or even SMS, or whatever, any type of outreach that they can have, really, is really the, going to be your better bet. And not that you shouldn't get, followers on that, but, you should definitely get followers on your social media. But if you think about it, most people, if you're only getting 3 to 5%, I mean, that's just math. Like 40% open rate versus like 3 to 5 is, not even close. So,
yes.
Yeah.
We're joined with Tyler Leach from Greensville, North Carolina, this morning on Mornings Live with Keith and friends. We're in the community corner, the Creator Spotlight. Tyler, you survived 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4 near-death experiences. Dude, like 1 wasn't enough? You had to get to 4? How did those moments shape your approach to business and marketing, my friend?
Well, 1 was when I was a child. So I had a rare disease called Kawasaki's disease, which is an autoimmune disease where I was born with shortly after I was born, I developed a hole in my heart.
Okay.
And thank goodness that my mom was a nurse, so she knew what she was, dealing with. So that was 1. And then when I was about 10 or 11, I was at a wedding and they had sodium nitrate, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's like what you find in meats and stuff like that. Well, someone had they bought the punch from a caterer that had they were just big company that did frozen punch mixes. Well, someone had accidentally put a bunch of sodium nitrate in there. And so there's this massive, everyone was getting sick. I got sick, had to go to the hospital. I had to drink charcoal. It was nasty. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And that was number 2. But there was people that were passing out, lack of oxygen. I mean, it was really, really bad. It was the first time ever in history that had happened. Which is just a crazy, I don't know the entire backstory even. I was only 10 or 11, but that's what I know about it. And I got super sick, had to go to the emergency room. And I was in better shape than most people. 3rd or 4th, when I was in mid-20s, suffered from ulcerative colitis. Had a hemoglobin for a little bit of 3, which is a normal person's 12 to 15.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, in the emergency room several times for that too. So.
Yeah, no kidding. We're hanging out with Tyler Leach on the community corner on Mornings in Live with Keith and friends. We're going to get to the Creator Spotlight. We celebrated Tyler a couple weeks back, and part of the game is we give Tyler the light and we say, hey, we want you to shine it on somebody else. That's what he's here to do today. You ever wonder how some people manage to get the right minds in the right room every single day? It's not luck. It's discipline, energy, and a little bit of dude magic. Every morning at 7:55, a group of ambitious men and creators hit first sip. A live morning show has become their daily mindset tune-up. It's more than just a show. It's a daily accountability partner, a shot of live morning motivation, and a front row seat to real men's conversations on mindset, health, and personal development. So how does this happen? Well, 30 plus years of turning Get Me in the Room into a business development superpower. Over 170 mornings in a row, live, no snooze buttons, just energy. 60 plus guests from Navy SEALs to ministers, all sharing how to win the morning and master their mindset. And he's not just building community. He's lived transformation himself since 11/11/14. This guy calls himself the average dude, but let's be clear. There's nothing average about. He believes everyone has a story and a unique gift. His mission, build real proximity, connect the unconnected, and make sure nobody goes through their mornings or their life alone. If you want a real talk, daily morning motivation, a live morning build accountability partner who actually shows up, I invite you to follow, but only for the first 5 minutes of the day. After that, come hang out with us on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is excited to introduce you to... There he is, Daniel Allison. What's going on, Daniel? We are celebrating you this morning with Tyler Leach on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And Tyler, why are we celebrating Daniel Leach this morning?
He's just a good friend of mine, honestly. We just known each other for a long time. And we actually have a quick episode we did. So I was just shouting him out. So it was the first person that came to my mind, really.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I love that. That's a lot of fun. Let's do some quick hitter. And so, Tyler, here's how it works, brother. We had Daniel on the show here. I'm sorry. Daniel, we've had Tyler on the show here today, and we'd love to pass you the light so you can come onto our show and you could shine that light on somebody in your orbit and somebody in your community so we can keep this paying it forward of the community corner, the Creator Spotlight, right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Tyler, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us here today.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You have a good one, pal. All right, Tyler's going to get out of here, Jimmy. We're going to walk Tyler out of the lab. We're going to keep the show rocking and rolling here this morning on the only morning show built to help you guys get your ass out of bed and get after it every single day here in the lab. We're going to continue on the Community Corner segment, guys, and we're going to get something that's sounding just a little bit like this. Here's a question for you guys. I got a question. What if the secret to daily motivation and men's mental health isn't about pushing harder, but about getting smarter with your habits and your mindset? Well, get ready for some real talk, entertaining conversation, and a big dose of daily morning motivation, because it's time for the Community Corner, where we connect LinkedIn and Substack on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. All right, let's start off with number one, scaling life's mountains, the adventure-ready mindset for men who want more. Guys, you ever feel like Mondays are their own kind of Everest? Wow. Johnny Ngoyan's article titled, "Don't Let Mondays Overwhelm," brings us adventure-tested tactics for everyday resilience. Johnny draws a wild comparison. The rules that keep you safe on a mountain are just like the rules that keep you sane in the workplace. He shares how legendary explorers like Ben Sanders use emotional check-ins, and how Colin O'Brady's chunking technique, breaking big goals into bite-sized wins, can help you crush your morning routine and keep your momentum going. And here's a gem. Positive self-talk isn't just for the trait, it's a game changer for your morning mindset. Jimmy, what was Johnny's takeaway? Wow. Mental resilience is a muscle you build every day, whether you're climbing peaks or just trying to beat the snooze button on a Monday morning. So nation, here's the question for you. What's your best mental toughness hack for daily accountability and goal setting? What about you, Bernard? I see you. No one wants you to puke information into them. Hear what they aim for in order to better help them. Because the best sales line is, I love this. Tell me what your dream is. Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that today, Bernard. What's your dream? And then move away from that. All right, let's keep it going, guys. What's one habit that's changed your life? Well, Monica Devanand gets real about how she went from living on the fly to building habits that support her physically, mentally, and spiritually. After facing tough seasons and loss, Monica found that having a daily habit was her anchor. And we've heard it often, guys. Those non-negotiables that help you get your day started. Wow. After her personal development journey started with necessity, but stuck because she wanted to live differently. 8 years later, she's all about helping others create habits that truly fit their aspirations, not just what's trendy. Her message is clear. Habits don't have to be rigid, but they do need to be yours. Your habit, you guys, not my habit, not Johnny's habit, not AJ's habit. What's your take? How do you build habits that last and support your goals? All right, let's move it over, guys. Have you ever thought about staying busy would solve everything? Well, I know a lot of guys that feel staying busy solves everything. Ben Sands admits he used to chase the next job, city, or adventure, thinking that life would magically just sort itself out. Wow. Jimmy, spoiler alert, it didn't. Because Ben's story is a wake-up call. Sometimes being busy is just a distraction from what really matters. Instead, he encourages us to focus on purpose over business by starting with values, building career capital, making small bets, reshaping your current role, and letting go of the balance illusion. What's one thing you've stopped chasing so you can focus on what matters? And I know, Bernard, I know what you're chasing. Habits of gratitude. That's the habit we all need to get after. Habits of gratitude with positive affirmations to get the day rolling. Andrew Barker at LinkedIn News warns about the hidden risks of hitting unsubscribe when those forgotten newsletters or shady offers land in your inbox. Well, according to cybersecurity experts, 1 in every 644 clicks on an unsubscribe link leads to a potentially unsafe website. The fix? Use your email provider's unsubscribe function or just mark it as spam. There you go, folks. Let's stay sharp, guys. Anyone, you got a wild story about a sketchy email? We want to know about it in the comments below. Guys, that's it for today's Community Corner Stories. If you want your story featured on the show, follow us on Substack and LinkedIn and tag us on your next post. And hey, guys, quick, What's one habit, mindset, or morning routine that's made you unstoppable this year? I know what it's been for you, Bernard. Gratitude. And hey, bonus points. If it's tuning into the biggest conversation for men on the planet, it's called Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. That's us right here. All right, let's keep moving. Jimmy, we're going to pivot over back to Substack, back to our final creator for this morning's Mornings in the Lab Creator Spotlight. And we're going to lean into a guy named Rob. Rob who? Well, picture being the kid who never brought friends home because home kept changing. Picture learning early that if you wanted a shot at anything, you'd have to earn it the hard way. No shortcuts, no safety nets. The kind of start that most people would break. But there's a reason this story stands out. Someone took those rough beginnings, working nights, moving through foster homes, seeing how the world works from the bottom up, and spun it into a lens that makes the rest of us rethink everything we think we know about class, success, and belonging. This is a person who went from bagging groceries, cleaning tables, to Yale and Cambridge, and all the way to bestseller lists and national headlines. His idea, luxury beliefs, has become the new way top thinkers and business leaders talk about privilege and status. So when your words end up in The Economist and you get quoted by the world's biggest minds, you're not just in the conversation, you are leading it. And the person that's leading it, his name, Jimmy, is Rob Henderson. And every week, Rob opens his inbox to readers tackling questions about psychology, society, and the quiet rules that shape our lives, because he's lived every chapter of it. So if you've ever done with surface level motivation and want morning conversations that actually challenge what you believe, I invite you to subscribe to Rob Henderson's Substack. Don't just follow the crowd, you guys. See the world through the eyes of someone who's had to build his own map. And Rob, here's how it works, my brother. Here's how it works. We'd love to have you on the show. Would love to have you right on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends, Rob, so we can celebrate somebody in your orbit, somebody in your circle, somebody we can bring to the stage, give them the light, and continue paying it forward on the Creator Spotlight in the Community Corner on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Wow. All right, let's do this. Well, coming up to the top of the hour, Jimmy, there's a show for us today. We got after it, guys. We added some wrinkles to the experience. Added a bunch of video intros. Let's see here we got here. Lady Drew, thank you, Keith, and everyone for another great show. Bernard, I'm thankful and grateful for everyone in this community and the show as well. Bernard, I am too, brother. I'm so thankful. I hope you guys enjoyed the new experiences today. We'd love to hear your feedback. We are embracing the tools around us to make the show better for all of you. So we're adding some video, adding some new sound effects, adding some audio, and adding a whole lot of additional fun sprinkled around the outsides. Okay, well, guess what, guys? It's time to get out of here. We're going to be back at it tomorrow on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show that gets you guys out of here every single day, right here at 8 o'clock, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Jimmy, did I get all my obligations done? Jimmy's frantically typing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what, Jimmy? We didn't get to that one, did we? Yeah, I guess we will. Well, you know what? I'm going to call an audible here. We do have one last topic that I do want to... Can we replace the Eminem poster with a painting of Johnny? Hey, Bernard, you and I could quietly do that. We'll commission. Johnny's not listening right now. So you know what we'll do, Bernard? We'll make one up here. We'll pull the Eminem one down, put a nice painting. Could you imagine it, Bernard? Johnny just sitting there like almost like in a nice painting there, his legs crossed, and he's holding his cigar. And I can see it. Can you see it? Like, is it a Monet or a memoir? Like just something kind of crazy, right? So, that's funny, man. No, you know what, Jimmy? Let's hold that one till. We're gonna hold that one to another one. We're gonna have some fun and wrap it up here this morning. We're gonna carry that one to a different topic, and Holroyd's coming in with get one of those ones where it looks like Viking. Yeah, and then Bernard, we'll get one with Johnny on the toilet. A painting of him on the toilet. Yes, the classic one, the Kramer. I'm thinking we're seeing the same one. we're actually seeing the same one. That'll be awesome. That'll be absolutely awesome. So, Jimmy, yeah, we're going to do the 5-minute morning mind gym, the mental toughness hack of changing anything for men 35 plus. We're going to do that for a different show, and we'll get Johnny in with the cigar as well. Adam, Bernard, all of you guys, good time. Lady Drew, I appreciate you guys so much. Mike Sullivan, Roofy, Texas Repo, on behalf of Jimmy, Johnny, and the entire gang of Mornings in the Lab with Keith. We're going to get out of here. My bladder says we got to get out of here, Jimmy. That's why we're not doing the mind hack. Yeah, the mind hack says I'm not pissing my pants this morning. On behalf of all of us, have a good one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, right here, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Get me out of here, Jimmy.